Welcome or welcome back. My name is Ari. This is the Twisted Retreat Special Edition Halloween box. So let's open this and see what I got. I can kind of give you a first peek, but my address was on top and I don't want anybody to randomly show up at my house, so this is what we got. Let's get into this, see everything inside of here. I'm gonna start with this, which looks like a mug. I mean, it did say vacuum insulated mug. It's a sippy cup mug. It is some sort of zombie mug. Here we go. And then we have a bucket list of the dead, yeah. And then you got the plastic lid. I don't know where I would use this, but it's not the worst quality mug I've ever received. In the off chance that you are a hiker, that thing is way too heavy to actually be used for hiking. So it would have to be like some sort of glamping if you're taking it camping with you. Spoiler card here. That is from a manga called Zom 100. Next up, I want to open this big old box. I have no idea what's in here. I don't know what this is, but it is thick. It's got a lid. After taking the lid off, I have still no further transparency. This is cast iron. It's heavy as hell. It's got a really pretty lid that says, "Whenever feasible, one should always try to eat the rude." So it sounds like more stuff to do with zombies. That's what it looks like. Let's check the guide and see what this is. This is a Hannibal, like Hannibal Lecter, cauldron camping pot. So I guess you could put this over the fire and cook your ramen dinner in it. I don't go camping, so I'm not really going to use this. Dad, if you're watching this, do you want this or the sippy cup? Y'all go camping a lot. All right, next up is another box. Drop something. This seems to be a flashlight. The drop was a battery. So it's very bright. This is, oh, it's got different levels. This is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer very freaking intense flashlight, and you can use the battery that came with it, or it looks like you can use three AA batteries and put it in this way. So options. It also looks like it's rechargeable and it's got a cord. So lots of options for batteries in here. Very bright flashlight. This box, I think, is camping themed. All right, next up, this one. And this is the Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil. And it says Cool Towel. And it looks like you've got a bag. Oh, no, it is a towel. So you got a little drying off towel, and then the carrying case for it. So I guess you can use it and then stick it back in your carrying case, which I did a very bad job of. And then you can like clip this to your backpack or whatever. So more camping stuff or backpacking stuff. This is the only one so far that I would say is lightweight enough to actually be for backpacking instead of like camping. But yeah, I again don't know that I would ever use this. Next up, it looks like a first aid kit. This is the Last of Us inspired first aid kit. And oh, and it's got pretty basic first aid supplies in it. thermometer, bandages, tape, scissors, gauze, an emergency blanket. I'm not gonna open all of this, but y'all know what a first aid kit looks like, and this is just a Last of Us first aid kit. Kind of cool. Probably will stick this in the car, because it's always good to have a first aid kit in your car. Is this like something I desperately needed? No, but it's cool. I don't hate. Next up we got Saw, and it just says, do you want to play a game? So let's see, maybe a game is in here? This is a heavy fucking duty case. Oh my god. Okay, I don't think that one opens. Yes, it does. Alright, and this seems to be camping tools. Okay, and here we got a compass that doesn't seem to work very well. I have a pin, and it looks like that might be a pencil on this end, a pin on this end. You could probably use this to like break a window if you needed to. Flashlight with no batteries, so that doesn't work. This looks like a knife, a whistle, a fire starter, and a ruler. I don't know why you need a ruler. I don't know what that is. It's like a little itty bitty light, keychain light. It's a multi-tool of some set, of something. I don't know. A can opener, a knife edge, a screwdriver, ruler, cap opener, a 4-position wrench, a butterfly wrench, a saw blade, a 2-position wrench, and a lanyard hole to hold it. Cool. I'm never gonna use this. And then you got some like SOS stickers and stuff like that. This feels a lot more useless and cheap than pretty much anything else so far in the box. But yeah. I have nothing to say about this. Next up I have this little package. I've also looked at the bottom of the card, and this is a kit to survive the purge. That's what this is for. I don't think I would be outside camping for the purge, but I get it. This is a very large lanyard with a knife. So you got the spinny lanyard part. So very secure. And then there's a screwdriver right here. And then this is like a saw knife thing. So fancy lanyard. I guess I should figure out the branding on this. This is the Purge inspired carabiner, not a lanyard. I said the wrong words. The Purge inspired carabiner. Next up looks like a bracelet. Right, so I don't know if you can see that at all. It is a Battle Royale inspired bracelet. It's got a compass on it, and it's got a knife on this end, and you stick the knife in over here to like close this. But I don't know that I would feel super comfortable having a knife on my wrist. This is so big that I could just stick it over my hand. I don't have to actually unlock it. But yeah, so I guess we're gonna call this a survival bracelet. So in addition to the knife, the compass, there's a whistle part here. And then I don't know what this is, but it came out and it's plastic. So it's not like a fire starter or something like that. So, but yeah. There's that. Next up, a t-shirt. This is I Survived a Horror Story. I will tell you right now, this is like jersey material. So like a football jersey or esports jersey or whatever. This feels awful, and it will look awful on because it will show every single fat roll and lump. So I hate this. Like, I absolutely hate this shirt, and I will never wear it. Simply because of the material it's made of. I don't know why they're sending us a t-shirt made of esports jersey material. No one wants a t-shirt made with this material. Like, no one, period. And then the last present other than the book is this, which is a backpack. So 28 days later, and like I said, it's just a backpack. Fairly low quality, but there is a space for your laptop. And it's got backpack straps if you want them, but it seems like you can tuck them away if you don't want to use them as a backpack. And you can hold it like this if you just want a carrying bag. So, yeah. Kind of cool, not great quality. And the last and final thing in here is the book, which is Neverest by T.L. Bodine? I don't know. We got sprayed edges like normal. It's a fairly short book. I'm not sure if you can read this, but it says "Do not rest." In pages are very pretty. That's very pretty. The art print on the inside, very, very pretty. All around, pretty. 1 year ago, Sean Miller, journalist and mountain climbing enthusiast, reached the summit of Mount Everest and was never seen again. Unable to move on without knowing the truth of what happened, his widow Carrie insists on an expedition to search for Sean's body so it can be properly laid to rest. There's a typo in here to drive me crazy. I'll show it to you in a minute. Tom, Sean's best friend and former climbing partner, agrees to serve as an expedition guide and promises to keep Carrie safe on the mountaintop despite their complicated relationship history. Guided by a travel journal left behind by her husband, Carrie ventures into the frozen open-air graveyard of the world's tallest peak. But as Sean's diary and Carrie's experience reveal, climbing the mountain is more than the test of endurance. It's a battle of wills with an ancient and hostile force protecting the mountain. And the dead do not rest easy at the summit. Neverest is a thriller with a hint of the supernatural that will appear... okay, I don't need to read the rest of that. That sounds awful, but as you all know, I've never had a book out of this box that I really like. Also, the typo in here that is driving me crazy. Where is it? So if you see how they did insist, like, what is that? So, yeah. Fortunately, it seems short. I'm gonna read it, come back and talk to you about it. But overall, this box sucks. Not that the stuff is necessarily like horrible quality or anything like that. I'm just not going to use a single thing out of this box. Should I have known that going into it? I don't know. I just saw special edition Halloween. Didn't really look deeper into it to see that this is a survival box. I'm not going to use anything in this box. So this one was not worth the money. Let's read the book and see if this somehow manages to blow me away, which I highly doubt, but I'll be back in a minute. Okay, Neverest by T.L. Bodine. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I would say this reads more like a domestic thriller than a true horror. This follows kind of two characters. We have a husband and wife. The husband has died attempting to climb Mount Everest, and the wife goes to make her own climb of Mount Everest a year later in an attempt to recover or find her husband's body. She wants to know what happened to him, and then so she goes to climb the mountain herself. Her reasonings don't really make sense. She's not a climber. She shouldn't be scaling Everest, especially off trail looking for a body. But it wouldn't be a book if she just paid somebody to go do this, right? So throughout this book, you follow her on her climb, and then that's like interspersed with journal entries from him. So you kind of see his climb and what he's experiencing alongside her climb and what she's experiencing. And again, the horror aspect doesn't really exist. I didn't see anything that I could consider horror until like 95, even 98% into the book. So that was like a tack on at the end. Most of the time it was just like a mental thriller where they're dealing with like altitude psychosis, where they're probably seeing things that aren't there. You could translate it as horror, but most of the time it just came off as, you know, your brain's starved for oxygen that high up. So the relationship was kind of trash. She was a shitty person because she literally blamed everybody but her husband for his death. She blamed his best friend for not going with him. She blamed the Sherpa for not like babysitting him. And when you read his diary, like, it's entirely this man's fault. Like, this man makes some really stupid decisions, and he's got that like alpha hole personality, so he thinks he's better than anybody. And when people are like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, he's like, I'm a man, I can do what I want. And then, which leads to his death entirely. Her blaming everybody but the actual man who caused his own death, and she like verbally takes it out on these people. And then she was also cheating on her husband, and she hated that he hiked, even though like they met because he was a climber, and his entire life has been dedicated to climbing. And apparently since they got married, she's been trying to get him to stop climbing because she doesn't want him to climb anymore. And like, she is going out of her way to ruin their relationship. And then when he dies, she takes it out on everybody around her. So not a great person, but dealing with grief in her own way. It's not something I want to read about, but the portrayal makes sense. And then he, like I said, is kind of this like alpha hole. He thinks he's better than everybody else. He doesn't respect his wife. He leaves her most of the year to go climbing. She is the breadwinner in their family, and basically funds all of these trips for him. And he doesn't care about her. He just kind of does what he wants. And if there's conflict, he just kind of ignores it and leaves. So neither one of them are great for each other. Neither one of them are good people. And I don't care about hiking. So all around, like, I didn't care about this book, but it's very short. So it was just a few hours to get through. But if it sounds like something that you would be interested in, it's not a bad book. The writing's fine. The story is coherent. It makes sense. It's just not something that I personally enjoy in a story, like, all around. Like, the setting is not something I enjoy. The characterization, not something I enjoy. The plot, not something I enjoy. If you're familiar with the channel, I don't really like thrillers. And like I said, this reads mostly like a thriller until like the very, very end of the book. I will also say there are points in the story that feel very racist, and I think that is the characters, because racism fits the characters and their personalities. They're like they're narcissistic personalities. Like, you could totally see these people being racist, but it is in there. And I know a lot of people don't like reading about that, whether it's the author or just the characters themselves. So just a heads up that that's in there. Anyway, my voice does not like talking, so I'm gonna cut it here. Let me know what you thought about this box in the comments below. I hated this box. I'm so mad that I paid extra for this special edition box and didn't like a single thing in here. But let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.